Hey, thanks for watching this free training where I'm going to show you the marketing model that generates an increasing flow of leads, customers, and sales month over month without betting your success on one single funnel, strategy, or traffic source. Best of all, this model allows you to build momentum that can't be stopped by changes in the market, algorithms, ad platforms, or anything else that you can throw at it. Almost all market leaders in every industry are using this model, but none of them are talking about it. For those who don't already know me, my name's Mark Haberstock, marketing coach and consultant, and over the years, I've been lucky enough to work with hundreds of clients all over the world, helping them build and grow their businesses online. If you're watching this, it's likely that you're starting to grow your business online and you want to do it without the help of paid ads initially. You're an established business looking to grow to multiple 6 or even 7 figures by combining content and paid ads to significantly accelerate your growth. The funnels you've been using and strategies you've used based on other experts and gurus, they just never seem to deliver the consistent results that you need or that they promise. Or you're simply looking for a well-rounded way to market your business that delivers a consistent stream of new leads, customers, and sales every month. If any of these sound at all like you, then you're in the right place. What I'm about to show you today isn't being talked about anywhere else. What's crazy is that as we go through this model, it'll be clear to you to see that so many of the market leaders in every niche, whether it be coaching, marketing, fitness, online business, and even local businesses, almost all of them are implementing a system just like this, even though many of these same people are telling you you only need bits and pieces. Some people focus on ads, most people focus on funnels, some on content marketing, some on authority building, and on, right? But nobody's showing you how to put it all together and why it's so important that all of these marketing assets are connected inside of a much larger marketing environment, one that builds momentum over time. The best part is most of the funnels and strategies that you're using right now fit into this model. The only difference will be that those strategies and campaigns will work so much better with a complete system built around them. The model I'm about to show you can work for literally any size of business. If you're just starting out and can't afford paid ads, this model will help you grow your business without them. If you have a more established business that is running paid ads, it will show you how to make the ads game easy to win. And it will literally be like pouring jet fuel on the fire you already have. So here's how I'm going to break this training down. In just a few seconds, I'll show you what this model is. Next, I'll show you why it's far superior to any of the other marketing models and strategies that you've seen so far, and some of the big names using this model. After that, I'll break everything down and show you how it works stage by stage, step by step. Lastly, I'll walk you through the steps you need to take to implement this model in your business today. So let's get started. Right now, the marketing strategies you've seen all look a little bit like this, right? They're all linear. They all start with one traffic source. If they don't convert, they send them to a follow-up sequence and then put them on a list that might get an email sent once or twice a month until it's time to hammer them with another offer. This linear marketing model that people are pushing on you, it comes from the mindset that all you need to do is nail down the right funnel and you'll be able to infinitely scale your business. It's cookie cutter marketing. You'll implement the funnel or strategy that they say you need, then you'll finally crack the code to paid ads and everything goes uphill from there. Sound familiar? Look, the truth is, people successful with that strategy are a fraction of the number of people trying to make it work. They're the exception to the rule, and we all know it's never a good strategy to bank your success on being an exception. So this cookie cutter marketing, this idea that one funnel or marketing campaign can be adapted to any business could not be further from the truth. Every business has a unique customer avatar who has specific buying behaviors and needs a customer journey tailored specifically for them. And that's where this model comes in. It's called the Marketing Flywheel. It's a cyclical marketing system that leverages momentum and works by building an engaged audience, attracting leads, nurturing them, and converts them into customers while building authority in the marketplace. It gains momentum every month and grows larger and larger and more effective as time goes, making your business less susceptible to stuff like market changes, banned ad accounts, or changes in ad algorithms. Every lead, every email, every sale, piece of content, social media post, every ad, it all feeds into the marketing flywheel to increase its size and momentum. Now, it's important that I make this distinction between my marketing flywheel and others that you'll see people talking about because there is one key piece that most people are completely missing. Most people talking about a marketing flywheel have this idea that it's a funnel killer and you either use funnels or a flywheel. What's different about my marketing flywheel is I believe that funnels are a crucial piece of the flywheel and that all funnels should live within and contribute to the momentum of the flywheel. But I'll get more into that in just a couple of minutes. So let's take a look at how my flywheel marketing method works. My marketing flywheel has 4 stages: attract, engage, convert, and delight. You start out by attracting and building your ideal audience through stuff like content, social media, and paid ads. Next, you engage with them and build meaningful relationships by giving them value with useful resources and information tailored to their needs and motivations. This is where trust is built, and if you do it correctly, your prospects don't need a whole lot of selling to become a customer or a client. They come ready to buy, ready to take action because you've already shown and proven to them that you know what you're talking about. You understand their pains and struggles, and you've shown that you have the right solution to meet their goals. That takes us into the conversion stage. This is where you're going to use funnels to convert your audience into leads and your leads into paying customers. Simple as that. Sometimes it's the right offer at the right time. Sometimes it's a series of offers. It all depends on your business. Those who don't convert are nurtured with valuable content that helps to build your relationship with them while providing them with the information that they need to make a decision, so that when they are ready, you're their number one choice. The last step is to delight. This step is about so much more than just delivering on your core promise. It's about over-delivering and creating raving fans out of your customers. Instead of customers staying customers, they become advocates to your business that you can use to drive even more people into your flywheel. Now, some people go from the attract all the way to the convert stage in a matter of minutes. Some take days, weeks, or even months. The key is the flywheel model will cater to all leads no matter what actions they take. Your engagement with them is tailored to those actions, so no leads are ever really lost until they decide that you're not the right fit. The people who need more time to build trust, the people who need more nurturing, get exactly what they need from you instead of finding it somewhere else down the road just because they aren't ready to become a customer today. Does that make sense? So let's take a look at how the flywheel works and why it's so effective. There are 2 key factors that play with the flywheel: force and friction. Force is what builds your flywheel, and it makes it spin faster and faster, building to the point where it has so much momentum it takes very little force or effort to keep it going. Friction is everything slowing it down. So the obvious goal is to increase force and decrease friction at every stage of your marketing flywheel. Now, there are 3 main factors that determine how much momentum your flywheel has. Once again, how much force you use to spin it, how big it is or how much it weighs, and how much friction there is slowing it down. Now, in a traditional marketing campaign, in a traditional funnel, all the force is being applied to attracting leads and converting them into customers. With the flywheel model, force is applied at all 4 stages. In the attract stage, force is added by growing your audience, whether that be with content, social media, public appearances, paid ads, podcasts, anything like that. In the engage stage, it's added by nurturing that audience and converting them into leads. In the convert stage, you add force by turning those leads into paying customers. And in the delight stage, you create force by over-delivering and wowing your customers to create both repeat customers and brand advocates. The size and weight of your flywheel builds with every piece of content you publish, with every delighted customer that becomes an advocate. It builds with every resource you make available. As your authority in the market grows, so does your flywheel. Look at Gary Vaynerchuk, for example. He has so much built into his flywheel that everywhere you look, you see him. If you're in his target audience, he could take a year off and do nothing, and his flywheel would still produce customers. Now, because there'd be no force being applied, it would eventually slow down and stop. But any changes to the market, changes to ad algorithms, he can weather it all because his flywheel has built up so much momentum over time. So momentum is the key piece here. It's like most good things in life. Put in the work up front, make sure all the pieces are in place, and get the flywheel going to the point that it basically works on its own, continuing to spin with little to no effort added. Finally, you want to reduce friction. You can do this by improving conversion rates, making sure you're giving your audience and leads the information they need to trust you, having solid processes and standard operating procedures in place that ensure an amazing customer experience, and of course, by delivering on your promises and giving your customers the results they want. You reduce friction by making it easy to do business with you. So you might be asking yourself, well, Mark, if marketing flywheels are so effective, why aren't more people using them? Well, lots of people are. They just aren't talking about it. And if you really look at it, all the top marketers themselves have built flywheels, whether or not they talk about it. Even the marketers who teach people to use one specific funnel, the top people in every market have flywheels. They all produce content. They're all on multiple platforms like YouTube, podcasts, and social media. They all have a website instead of just one funnel. They have everything. The rest refuse to do it because, let's be honest, it requires a little bit more work up front. Over time, it requires less and less to keep going, but let's face it, most people are lazy, right? They'd rather hire someone to build a funnel and run some ads, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when it doesn't work, they blame it on whoever they hired, or whatever guru's system they were following, or whatever funnel they have, and they switch to the next thing that looks good, or the next expert they can hire, throwing out everything they've done up to that point, starting from scratch again, and losing all the momentum they've gained. They end up with a business with a bunch of these half-built bridges scattered around. If they were really truly serious about growing their business, they'd put in the work. Or like most of my clients, they'd hire someone to build or run the flywheel for them, instead of just hiring a guy to run ads to a funnel as their only customer acquisition system. The Flywheel Marketing Method is based on long-term consistent growth, not just throwing up a webinar funnel overnight, hitting go on some Facebook ads, and hoping that you make $1 million in the next 30 days. A great example of a flywheel is Russell Brunson, the founder of ClickFunnels, the king of funnels, right? He's the one that coined the term, "you're only one funnel away." But take a look around and you'll see that he has multiple offers that all tie back into his core offer. He has a podcast that he uses to publish content. He has a YouTube channel, and he's active on social media. If running ads was all he needed to do to grow sustainably, he has more than enough money to do it. But he chooses to combine that strategy with content marketing, value-based email nurture sequences, and social media. If it didn't work, if it wasn't important or effective, none of these people would do it. If you've listened to any marketing podcast recently, you'll have heard everybody talking about how important content marketing is going to be moving forward. But you need to be able to produce content that converts and tie that content back into your marketing flywheel so it contributes to the momentum of your business. John Pemberthy, another leading marketer, spent the first quarter of 2021 testing multiple different funnels and methods to acquire clients. He spent over $9,000 on 2 of his funnels that resulted in 0 sales. Now, he's one of the few that's actually open and honest about this stuff. But this image that others portray online that you can take a brand new business with no following and hit every campaign out of the park with $500 to $1,000 in testing, it just isn't realistic. And if that's the method you truly believe in, be my guest. Keep jumping from funnel to funnel, keep firing and hiring new ads agencies and experts, and stay on that hamster wheel, hoping to be one of the few who break through. I could go on and on with examples, but I'm sure that after watching this, you'll start to recognize marketing flywheels in action everywhere you look. So let's look at what goes into a marketing flywheel and what each stage does to grow your business. The first stage is all about attraction, attracting people to your brand, your company, and ultimately your flywheel. With rising ad costs on platforms like Facebook, it's essential that you build an audience that follows you from platform to platform. This makes retargeting much easier and your ads much more cost effective. The number one reason people aren't buying your product or service or course or whatever it is you sell is because they don't know you. They don't know who you are or what you have to offer. They don't know that you have a solution to their problems or a way to help them achieve whatever after status they want to achieve. The biggest problem facing business owners and entrepreneurs today is simply a lack of attention. You need attention. You need people to know who you are. I talk to far too many people that have an amazing offer and can't figure out why their funnels aren't converting, only to realize their problem is that nobody knows they even exist. When you grow your audience, your social following, and your email list, you're only one video, one post, or one email away from a flood of sales coming in at all times, but only if you build, nurture, and engage with your audience properly. Again, love him or hate him, but let's take a look at Grant Cardone. He said the biggest shift in his business happened when he started focusing on getting as much attention as possible. He realized the biggest thing holding him back is that people couldn't buy from him simply because they didn't know who he was. So he started putting out content that got him the attention he needed to take his business to the next level. Now he's a billionaire. Now there are 2 ways you can get attention. You can earn it and you can buy it. Earning attention is what most people call organic or content marketing, producing valuable content and sharing it with the world to attract your target audience. This includes everything from blogs, YouTube videos, social media, podcasts, speaking on stage, and on and on. The pros is it's typically free. And if you do it right, one piece of content can capture attention for weeks, months, or even years. You're building trust with an audience by showing your expertise. It can quickly position you as an authority in your market. Your momentum builds with each piece of content you publish. And of course, it's low risk. The cons are it doesn't happen overnight. That is until you've built up that momentum. When you do, one piece of content can actually give your business an immediate boost. The other con is, of course, it requires a little bit more work. The second way you can get attention is to buy it. Of course, this includes paid ads on platforms like Facebook, Google and YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, you name it. It can also include buying solo email ads, sponsorships, and your traditional offline advertising. The pros are it can deliver results right away. It's scalable, and the cons, it costs money, and it's like a tap. As soon as you turn the ads off, the traffic stops. It's a little bit higher risk, it's highly competitive, and there's a bit of a steep learning curve. The big question is, what's better, organic or paid? And to be completely honest, when people ask me that question, my answer is always, why not both? Think about it. Most people start with paid ads, even if they have a really low budget, and expect their business to grow with no organic or content marketing. Part of that is due to everyone online claiming that it's easy to do. When you see people telling you about their $5 a day ads that scale to $1 million, or people who built their business from their mom's basement to millions of dollars by running ads to one funnel, you need to think about how many people did the same and failed. Trust me, that number is a whole lot higher. And with ad costs rising, those strategies just don't work as well as they used to. There's a reason most people who originally taught Facebook ads, or a system that relied on cheap Facebook ads, has moved on to something else. It just isn't what it used to be. Once again, love him or hate him, Gary Vee called it years ago. He said ads were underpriced, but they will eventually go up in cost as the market will correct itself. That's what people are starting to see now. It's not that ads don't work, it's that they cost a lot more to make them work. Without an audience or any type of following or email list, paid ads is not the basket you want to throw all your eggs into. Especially in this new era of privacy that we're entering. If you listen to all the top ad specialists right now, they're stressing the importance of building an audience because reaching your target audience with cold ads, it just isn't as easy as it used to be or as cheap as it used to be. Dan Henry even mentioned on a podcast that he recommends people start with organic marketing. This is a guy who at one point made money selling courses teaching Facebook ads. Implementing a social and content marketing strategy helps you build your authority and nurture leads who don't immediately convert. And it's a crucial part of the marketing flywheel, especially with new businesses. Anybody can handpick testimonials and case studies, but when you publish free content that's helpful and shows people that you know what you're talking about, that's the most powerful way to build authority. Nobody has been asked to be a speaker at an event or a guest on a podcast or TV show because they have a lot of testimonials glued all over a sales page. It's because they publish useful content that positions them as both the authority and market leader in their industries. On top of that, content helps to pre-sell your prospects, so it makes them much easier to convert later down the line. If you find yourself having problems closing people on the phone, the last thing you should be doing is hopping on Google and trying to find that latest, greatest closing script. You should be focused on doing what it takes to nurture your leads so they're pre-sold by the time they hop on a call with you. And to be honest, if you can't sell your product or service organically, you don't have a validated offer and you shouldn't be running paid ads to it. Unless, of course, you have a large budget and you can afford to speed things up by spending money to test your offer. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on ads here. I use them all the time. The key to remember is that ads should be used to accelerate the amount of force you're adding into your flywheel, but it shouldn't be used as the only thing driving traffic. Okay, it shouldn't be the sole driver for your business. Building a flywheel is all about building an audience. When you focus on building an audience, everything else gets easier. And that leads us right into the next phase, engage. In the engage stage, you build relationships with your audience and nurture them so when they're ready for your next offer, they're already pre-sold. The most effective way to nurture your audience into leads and customers is using what's called core content. It's a piece of content that shows your audience your big promise. Okay, what's the result that you're promising your product or service will deliver? Your unique selling proposition or your unique mechanism. So what is it that makes your product or service better than any other option? What is the unique mechanism for delivering their desired results? Why do they need it and how does it work? And your solution. What is your offer and how can they get started? After consuming your core content in whatever form it's in, they should know who you are, what you can do for them, what makes your solution different, and why they need to choose you. Normally, this is done in a video form, like a webinar, but depending on your industry, it might make more sense to use an infographic or a brochure, and we've all seen lots of people use books. But you need that piece of core content to indoctrinate your audience, so when they go through your funnels, they require less selling. If they don't convert in one of your funnels, you can send them to your core content as part of your nurture campaign. It's where your content and social profiles will link to. It's where you can send people who want to learn more about your business, whether you're being interviewed on a podcast, speaking on stage, or just talking to a friend at a barbecue. Your core content is something that you'll be constantly adding to, shaping and molding as your business evolves. Every time you do, it becomes better and better at nurturing and converting your audience. We also use smart automation to send our audience through funnels based on where they're at in their buyer's journey. You can start to retarget each segment of your audience with offers tailored to their intent level, which dramatically increases your return on ad spend and makes the paid ad games so much easier to win. Can anybody say increased ROI? Next, you'll have a nurture campaign for those people who don't immediately convert. It consists of your best content delivered in a way that provides incredible value while educating them on why they need your products and services without being salesy. It's a value-first approach and it works. On top of that, it builds your authority by positioning you as an expert and leader in your market. Lastly, it'll build the know, like, and trust relationship you need with your audience, your leads, and your customers. And you'll have multiple nurture sequences. It's a mistake to think that you'll only nurture the people who haven't yet converted. In a marketing flywheel, you nurture your customers as well to provide testimonials and reviews. You nurture them to become raving fans and brand advocates, and you nurture them to become repeat customers. Next, the conversion stage. It's all about using funnels to present the right offer to the right person at the right time. And you'll see how the engage stage ties right into this, as people who don't convert go right back to that stage for more nurturing. Now, in the traditional flywheel model you'll see people talking about, they completely write off funnels altogether because they believe it replaces the need for a funnel. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Funnels have their place and are extremely effective. Your funnels become integrated pieces of the flywheel, and your marketing becomes so much more effective. You're making sure that you give yourself every opportunity for success with every person who enters your flywheel. Without one, your funnels are at risk. Years ago, we would build a funnel and expect people to go through the funnel step by step. If they fall out, we would get them back in with an email sequence, right? Well, that game has changed. It does still work for some people, but especially for higher ticket funnels, you need to understand that if you haven't built up any type of authority or relationship with your leads, most of them are going to stop, open up another tab, and do a little bit of research on your business. I'm sure you've done it, right? How many tabs do you have open right now? Now let me ask you, when you've done this in the past, what happened when you Googled them and couldn't even find a simple website? What did that do to your trust level? If they're a ghost online, would you continue through the funnel? Let's say you don't for whatever reason. Maybe you aren't sold or it's just not the right time. Ask yourself, with one funnel, how can they get more information? Do they have to wait for you to send them an email? With no other online presence, this person is almost completely lost. Far too many people write off the leads who don't convert. I see this all the time on strategy calls where I'm asking people how they're following up and nurturing their leads who entered into a funnel and didn't convert. And most people just say, well, I have a follow-up email sequence. And that's great. But then what? Do they go on an email list for you to send a newsletter once or twice a month until you're ready to hammer them with another offer? You need to have a specific strategy to nurture new leads who don't convert. Even worse, when they start to search for you online, I'm willing to bet they're going to find a competitor who has a flywheel and can take the time to properly nurture them as a lead. Ask anyone in professional sales. Sometimes it can take up to 30 touch points or more for someone to make a decision. But it can't always be 30 emails or 30 phone calls with a hard sales pitch. They need to be properly nurtured at their own pace. A flywheel makes that possible, and it allows you to cater to the people ready to buy right now while properly nurturing the people who aren't quite there yet, and then showing them the right offer at the right time. So a flywheel is a complete marketing environment that leaves no holes. And this is where that whole one funnel is all you need idea falls short. It assumes that people are progressing through your funnel exactly the way you want them to. Sure, some people do, and if you're well known in your industry and have a high level of authority built up, the number of people who go right through your funnel is going to increase. People already trust you. They're waiting for your next offer. But when you're not well known, you better believe that they're going to open up another tab and do a little bit of research. A half-decent website with a solid content strategy can completely fix this problem. And that's why we use content and marketing automation together to nurture people who don't convert in our funnels. We send them through a specific nurture campaign based on the content they were interested in. Then we use automation to deliver the right offer to the right person at the right time. Think about it. Have you ever entered into a funnel that promised a result and decided not to purchase for one reason or another? Now, when that happened, I'm willing to bet you didn't abandon all hope of the solution they promised. I'm willing to bet that, like most people, you started searching Google and YouTube for more information on the solution. So by not having a content strategy, your competition who does immediately captures that lead and starts to nurture them themselves. Now, when the time comes for them to make a purchasing decision, who do they go with? So by not nurturing your leads with content and value, you're not just losing those leads for your competitor, you're essentially buying those leads for your competitors. And that's really the key difference between a funnel and a flywheel. Instead of focusing on just a funnel, imagine how much more effective that funnel would be if it was part of a larger system, one that nurtured people who don't convert and then fed those nurtured leads back into the funnel at the right time when they're ready to buy. With marketing automation, this is all possible and easy, to be honest. And it's what you need to do to grow your business online today. So you can start to see how the flywheel is starting to take shape and how everything is interwoven and connected with each other, making your marketing environment so much more effective than just one or two funnels floating around out there on their own. Finally, the last stage is all about delivering for your customers and using their experiences and transformations as not only reviews and testimonials, but case studies that you can use as content and in ads to add more force back into your flywheel. You'll use the community you build around your business as brand advocates that help drive more customers down your pipeline. As time goes, this whole flywheel, it just grows and grows and grows, and it builds momentum requiring less and less input from you to keep going. So when you put everything together, you're left with a complete marketing system that doesn't rely on paid ads, has multiple customer acquisition and traffic sources, builds your authority in the marketplace, nurtures customers so when they're ready to buy, they're already pre-sold, and you'll have a system in place that builds momentum week over week, month over month, and year over year. So let's look at the steps I take when I'm helping my clients build a marketing flywheel and how you can as well. The first stage is all about making sure you have the right foundation set. First, you need to craft or refine your irresistible offer so that it's positioned as the best or only solution for your customers. Next, you clarify your messaging so you can craft high-converting copy that you'll use throughout all of your marketing assets. After that, you'll make sure that your website is structured to build your authority as a market leader while acting as a hub for your funnels and content. The second stage is where we build your flywheel. This is where it starts to get fun. You'll create your core content that's used to educate, nurture, and convert leads into paying customers. Then you'll strategize which funnels you need and build high-converting funnels that all play into your overall flywheel marketing strategy. The last step is to build your nurture system, which, of course, delivers content that nurtures your leads and serves them with the right offer at the right time. The last stage is force. Once you have your foundation and your flywheel in place, you'll kick off the force stage by building out your content marketing plan, which allows you to create, publish, and promote content fast. Next up, you'll build an engaged following that organically converts into paying customers using the power of social media marketing. The final step is to generate a flood of new leads and prospects using paid ads. So hopefully by now this is all making sense, and you can see why the marketing flywheel is such an effective strategy to grow your business. Instead of one singular customer acquisition method, you have an entire marketing ecosystem working for you, building momentum every step of the way. The great part is, like I said earlier, all the other strategies you might have fallen in love with up until this point, they all fit within the marketing flywheel. You don't have to throw out everything you've done up to this point. The only difference is instead of it being standalone and linear, they now have a much higher chance of being successful. And even if your funnel doesn't deliver the results you need, your effort isn't wasted because you've at least built some level of momentum for your flywheel along the way. As I mentioned before, everybody needs a flywheel that's customized specifically for their business, their customers' buying behaviors, and their unique customer journey. Now, if you're ready to get started building your flywheel, you have a couple of different options. The first thing you can do is head over to flywheelmarketingmethod.com, where you'll get all the training, resources, funnel templates, everything that you need to get started building your own flywheel today. But you have another option. If you want to get crystal clear on the exact steps you should be following right now to build your marketing flywheel, I want to invite you to book a strategy session over at flywheelmarketingmethod.com/call. I'll leave a link in the description below. This isn't a sales call. You won't be speaking with a member of my team. You'll be speaking directly with me. In just 60 minutes, we'll get clear on exactly what's holding you back. Next, we'll map out a step-by-step blueprint that you can follow to build and launch your marketing flywheel with confidence. If you do decide that you want my help building your flywheel, I'll show you a couple of different options that you have to make that happen. Even though this call is absolutely free, I want you to think about what not booking a call is costing you. Every month, every week, every day that you don't have a marketing flywheel in place is another day you're missing out on new leads, customers, and sales. If you get started building your marketing flywheel today, in 1 year, you'll be a year ahead. In 6 months, you'll be 6 months ahead. In 3 months, you'll be 3 months ahead. But if you do nothing, nothing will ever change. Now, please note, this is only for the type of person who's motivated to take action and committed to seeing the strategy through. It's only for people who are the primary decision maker in their business and people who are willing to produce content or hire someone to produce it for them. If that's you and you want to see what a marketing flywheel customized for your business would look like, then click the link below and schedule your free strategy session. I look forward to speaking with you.